second Trump-Trudeau call of the day.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. Canadian ambassador to the UN, Bob Ray, on Fox's special report with Brett Baer, said tariffs are the wrong approach to deal with border issues.
Let's not use tariffs to deal with it, because the tariffs completely upset markets and upset employment and upset jobs.
And he said tariffs are a major threat to the economic security of both the U.S. and Canada. Union and advocacy groups have sued the Treasury Department and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent over the decision to give Elon Musk and others at the Department of Government Efficiency access to the federal payment system. As Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer warned, it could have an impact on the world economy.
The Treasury Department is already using extraordinary measures to ensure we do not default on the debt. If Doge's careless meddling caused us to default, it could trigger a worldwide financial crisis.
Musk claims Treasury officers have always been instructed to approve payments. The association, representing thousands of FBI agents, is urging congressional leaders to protect the jobs of employees at risk of punishment or termination over their participation in investigations into the January 6th Capitol riot. Liberty Energy founder Chris Wright has been confirmed as Energy Secretary. America's listening to Fox News.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He says it's about you, too. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending this hour. Last week, the Indiana Supreme Court Disciplinary Commission filed new charges against your Attorney General Todd Rokita over misconduct related to his statement about an abortion doctor. Rokita calls the investigations endless and politically motivated.
The lawfare continues, and it's aimed at silencing me because they don't like what I say on behalf of Hoosiers who spoke pretty loudly at the ballot box recently on my behalf. This is an attempt to take away their voices as well, you know.
The charges come from a press release Rokita issued after the Supreme Court ruling where they claim he contradicted his sworn affidavit. Rokita says he acknowledged the reprimand. Simplifying things for teachers is the goal of a bill that cleared the House Monday and will be reviewed by the Senate next. When Republican Bob Boehning of Indianapolis wrote the bill, he said he wanted to take away things like unnecessary bureaucracy and repetitive language.
There's still more work to do in this space, and I welcome continued input from stakeholders on how we can simplify our regulations.
He says some of the language he's combed through doesn't let teachers or school boards do their jobs well enough. When it warms up, ice melts. It's science. And that ice was a problem for a German Shepherd Sunday on the east side of Indianapolis in a pond.
It was reported that a dog had fallen through the ice and that the dog and another dog were kind of buddying around and just playing, doing normal dog stuff.
Indianapolis Fire Department Battalion Chief Rita Wright says Indy firefighters were able to get the dog out of the ice after it fell through, and it's all right. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Now here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Tonight, mostly cloudy skies remain, low temperatures in the lower 40s. Mostly cloudy skies go back to partly cloudy at points for Monday. High temperatures will be near 60 degrees. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks give up on their bodies in their 40s or 50s. Statistically, we gain 1.5 pounds every year past 50, and it's usually a tough slog to fight that. 19 years ago, I took a friend's recommendation, and I went to Exercise Inc. for one of their free consultations. Me? I didn't want to get heavy. I wanted to stay trim and in shape, and that was really a struggle. 19 years ago I went, and 19 years later, I'm still going every week. They've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals, and they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You've just got to try this health and exercise approach, and the consultation is free. My guess is that, like me, you'll be skeptical for the first couple of weeks, and then it happens. You'll feel better. You'll probably lose some weight, and you'll probably look better, too. Go to Exercise Inc. today and sign up for a free consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, and Greenwood, now in Fishers, too. ExerciseInc.com.
Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett. Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett. Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett. Host of the Tony Kinnett Cast.
Let's get down to business.
You're listening to the Tony Kinnett Cast on 93 WIBC.
Here on the Daily Signal.
Good evening and welcome to the Tony Kinnett Cast. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Jerry Lopez. You can find me on X, Twitter, under Indy Spanglish. Happy to spend this evening with you. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. If you're not familiar with me, I've hosted for Tony Kinnett a bunch of times. He's a good friend of mine, but my name is Jerry Lopez. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. My family's from Cuba. I'm a first-generation American, a military vet, have a couple tours overseas, staunch conservative, and the best person to speak on the topic that most people want to stay away from, and frankly, that's just immigration.
Let's kick it.
Ice Baby. Ice Baby seems to be the theme song for the country right now. And I'm just going to come straight out and say it. If you're here illegally, and I don't care what country you're from, you need to go back, period. You're not entitled to stay here in the United States just because you showed up. We're a country of laws. We welcome immigrants. My family was one of them. We went through the process legally. And here I am able to say these things. Now, whether you're on the left or on the right, you are an American citizen, whether you're born here or became naturalized. You're a U.S. citizen. You pay taxes. You have different rights afforded to you by the U.S. Constitution. And that's not the case for illegal immigrants. We need to stop pretending like these people deserve to just be here because they showed up. If they want to be here, they can come through the process legally. And nothing makes me more upset that when I see these people protesting, and usually they're from the country of Mexico. I'm sure they get them from all over, but the ones that I see are from the country of Mexico, and I saw one in particular happen yesterday where a bunch of migrants blocked the highway in California waving Mexican flags. Now, if Mexico is so good, why are you here? Why are you in California waving your Mexican flag? If Mexico is so good, why don't you just go back to Mexico and wave your flag there? Right? If you're going to come here, the dumbest thing you can do here is be illegal and protest on our streets with your home nation's flag. I advise you to stay inside because Tom Homan's looking for you, right? But if you're going to make it easy, go ahead and go outside. But nothing frustrates me more. But when we talk about immigration, and unfortunately, most people take that as Latinos. And I think that if you think illegal immigrant equates to Latino, you probably are a racist because people are talking about people from Ghana, China, Turkey, every country in the world. If you're not here documented, you're an illegal immigrant. This is who we're referring to. But Jake Tapper had the nerve to bring up the common misconception that everybody talks about, which is, well, who's going to pick the produce for you guys?
Because one of the reasons that President Trump got elected, according to President Trump in an interview, I think it was with Kristen Welker of NBC, was because of grocery prices. Not the only reason, but a reason, high prices, inflation, especially at the grocery. The Department of Agriculture says that between 2020 and 2022, 42% of crop workers were undocumented immigrants. And in many cases, as you know, these migrants do jobs many Americans do not want to do. So how does President Trump make sure that the effort to deport people who are not in this country legally doesn't end up hurting Americans who want safe borders, absolutely, but also don't want to see even more higher prices in groceries?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's not your position, Jake, you're just asking the question, that we should supply America's food with exploitative illegal alien labor. I obviously don't think that's what you're implying. Only 1% of alien workers in the entire country work in agriculture. The top destination for illegal aliens are large cities like New York, like Los Angeles, and small industrial towns, of course, all across the heartland, as we've seen with the Biden floods.
Mm-hmm. There it is, right there. He tells you right out. The vast majority of these people are not picking produce, first of all. Second of all, Jake Tapper has now minimalized Latinos to people that are picking crops, right? We've heard other people say, well, who's going to clean your bathroom? This is what the left thinks of these migrants, right? It's never about anything other than how can we use these people for cheap labor, right? And what does that do? That drives prices down. That drives down wages. That screws the American worker, because if I can pay mis amigos $4 to do it, why would I pay you $7 in Benny's? It just makes no sense. But look, everybody wants to blame Donald Trump, and this is racist, this is unfair. I'm going to play you a couple of clips. I'm not even going to tell you who they're from. See if you're smart enough to figure it out for yourself.
I think we should have strong border security. It doesn't make sense for us to allow hundreds of thousands of people coming through our borders without us knowing who they are, oftentimes in very hazardous situations. And unmonitored situations.
All right. That's enough of that one, Allison. I think people probably know who that is. What about this next one? Let's see if you can figure out who this is.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
Imagine if Donald Trump said you got to learn English. People would lose their minds if Donald Trump just said that. You got to learn English. Well, that was a little bit easier, but hey, that's the king and queen of the left, right? That's Obama and Hillary Clinton. Let's see if you can figure out who this guy is.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Now, if you ask me, those people sound real MAGA-ish, right? Would you disagree with that? They sound very MAGA-ish. Right now, here's one of the reasons why border security is so important right now. So I know some of you guys really stay on the news, and this war that's been going on between Ukraine and Russia, we've seen the use of drones, right? Where they're flying drones over Ukrainian soldiers and just basically dropping grenades on these guys. Okay, well, there's been another report that should really scare you straight.
We also just got our hands on a memo out of the Rio Grande Valley sector that actually says that this is kind of crazy here, that the cartels authorize the use of weaponized drones, explosives against CBP personnel and U.S. law enforcement down there at the southern border. Now, they're actually being encouraged, of course, to remain cognizant and vigilant, but they're also being encouraged to use their long arms, Blake. I have never seen this in a CBP memo before. They say, wear your ballistic gear, yes, but they're telling them, hey, have your long arms. Yes, they are saying, watch out for these weaponized drones. We've seen a lot of infighting with two different factions of the cartel down in Tamaulipas, that is on the south side of the border in the Rio Grande Valley, and they have like an all-out war happening between these cartel factions. So they are warning now that they might be using these weaponized drones against U.S. personnel on this side. So definitely cause for concern there.
Now that should terrify everybody, right? Because you can drop that drone wherever on the Mexican side and fly whatever you want, whether it's drugs or explosives or whatever across the border, right? But if that wasn't scary enough, if you were born in the 80s, I need you to hear this. I need you to sit up real quick because I'm going to ruin your childhood. Something has happened, and the country needs to be aware of it.
Just joining us, it was just reported that famous celebrity cartoon actor Speedy Gonzalez was arrested early this morning by U.S. immigration officers. According to the report, Gonzalez was seen trying to elude the ICE officers' trap by running extremely fast while yelling in broken English. Also arrested with Speedy was his cousin Slowpoke Rodriguez, better known as the slowest mouse in all Mexico.
Senor Slowpoke, you will be good with the chili peppers.
Say something I forgot to tell.
It's my childhood right
That's
here.
what I wanted to tell you. Slowpoke Rodriguez. He pack it gone.
With both mice expected to remain in ICE custody pending their removal proceedings.
All right, guys. Hey, you'll want to stay tuned. I have a heck of a show planned. It'd been a while since I'd been here. So next segment, we're going to talk the worst mayors in the country, and I have receipts. The segment after that, we're going to do Hold the L. But guess what we have up in the third segment? Man, I have a song coming up for you. Let's give you a little bit of what that's going to sound like.
Trump is the name, and I'm taking your girl. Everybody move your arms like this. There's a dance other people doing. I think it's a hit. Don't be shy, go and get up on the dance floor. Have the time of your life. I'm the man, though.
You're listening to the Tony Kinnett Cast on 93.1 and Daily Signal. We'll be right back.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
AAA not only is the best at helping you out with flat tires, roadside assistance, replacing my dead batteries at work, but they can also plan some amazing vacations. And with all this snow and ice, I'm ready for a trip to Universal Studios with the family in Florida. You know what I mean? No matter where you're headed, AAA can help you get the best price on your next vacation at the AAA Travel Expo, Saturday, February 22nd at the Ritz-Charles in Carmel.
It's free. You don't even have to be a AAA member to attend. Although members love additional benefits like 24/7, 365 roadside assistance. So save the date right now for the AAA Travel Expo 2025, Saturday, February 22nd at the Ritz-Charles in Carmel. Find your dream vacation at Indiana's favorite travel show. Bring a friend and enjoy the day. Get more information and pre-register for your chance to win a $500 AAA travel voucher at AAA.com/expo.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and I'm betting that you already know that your carpets could use a good cleaning. There's no telling what's in those carpets at this point, and here's some great news. Zerorez has a February special of 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119, plus a 4th room clean free and $75 off air duct cleaning too. The Zerorez pros know how to get your carpets and floors and rugs and upholstery and even your ductwork really clean. And they can help you deal with the deeply embedded dirt, dander, and allergens, not to mention those pet stains and some of your stains. The game changer is the patented ZR water that uses no soap, leaves no residue, and there are no harsh chemicals because they just aren't needed to get things really clean. It's time to get it all Zerorez-ified. Give them a call, mention WIBC, get 3 rooms cleaned starting at $119, plus a 4th room clean free, and $75 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141, or book things online at ZerorezIndy.com.
This radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Welcome back to the Tony Kinnett Cast. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Jerry Lopez. I think I have found the 3 worst mayors in the United States. If you have one you'd like to nominate in the future, you can go ahead and @ me on X. Indy Spanglish is my name. We have a repeat offender. If you're familiar with my work, we've talked about one of these ladies last year. And if you worked with me, if you've tuned in to shows that I've done, she is a multi-champion for Hold the L. And that's none other than Tiffany Haynard, right? But we're going to call these people, Three's Company.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's Company too.
All right, so first up, we have Khalid Camus. He's the mayor of South Fulton, Georgia, and he's the first Black Lives Matter leader to be elected to the office. He's accused of using tens of thousands of taxpayer funds to pay for an unauthorized trip to Africa. Mayor Camus was confronted about allegedly spending $26,000 on his city credit card. Videos posted to his social media showed him going to a party, concert, various other things while on this trip. Well, he was, called out by fellow councilwoman. This is Helen Willis, and she raised the alarm about this unauthorized spending at a city council meeting last week.
I am so distressed and disappointed that the blackest city in the United States of America is heading into Black History Month with its all-black council tearing each other down.
That was the mayor after being accused.
I really was going to let this go, but I can't continue to sit here and allow you to make it seem like we're the villains and you're the victim. Now, those cameras are in the back of the room, not because of us. We would love to come to a meeting and just go through this agenda and have a professional meeting and do the business of the people and go home. But it was you who want to sit around and call us the blackest city and say we want to tear each other down. We're not tearing you down. You took your black behind over to Africa for 20 days and didn't tell anybody. No, he called us a blacker city, and that was disrespectful.
It's all black city council. All black city council called him out, and the first thing he fell back on is, I can't believe we're doing this to each other. Right? All they wanted to know is what happened to this $26,000 you put on your city credit card. And let's be honest, South Fulton, Georgia probably is not a city that's rolling in dough for their mayor to go off to a trip like that. Next up, this is my champion. She'll always be number one in my heart for Hold the L. This is Dalton, Illinois Mayor Tiffany Haynard. Okay, now she's been accused multiple times of misuse of taxpayer dollars, but let's take you through her resume. All right, she can do it right. She spent $100,000 on travel in just 5 months. She spent $9,000. She built it to the township to go to D.C. She spent $374,000 for 3 SUVs. She spent $24,000 in restaurants in 1 year. She spent $561,000 to repave her mother's driveway home. That's with taxpayer dollars. She paid $1 million in overtime for a police detail. Tens of thousands of dollars in charges at Walmart, Target, Jewel, and other stores. $24,000 on This is a mayor. This is how she's spending her taxpayer dollars. But you know what? Don't hear it from me. Let Tiffany introduce herself.
Handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
You're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered.
That was last year.
What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded.
We can't band together at this time and this moment. This is going to be Black History Month, right?
Y'all all say Martin Luther King had a dream, but guess what? I am the dream.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet.
Black History Month. Of course I'm going to give away $1 million to help you pay your mortgage and your rent. Of course I am.
The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us? We going
wasting
through the
their
fires
tax
for y'all.
dollars.
Black History Month. As the first African-American female mayor of Dalton, of course I'm misunderstood.
Of course she's misunderstood,
y'all should be
right?
ashamed of yourself.
Of course she's misunderstood. This is her own city council. These are her own constituents that have now finally looked at what she is doing with their tax dollars. Well, they had a city council meeting last week that sounded a lot like this. You had a full-blown fight. Fisticuffs thrown. Tiffany was in the middle of it. Her wig got thrown off her head. This is for real. This is at a city council meeting because somebody said, bleep, you're gone. All right. Now, my last mayor for 3 worst mayors in the states is Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. All right. If he wasn't bad enough, let me tell you what just came to light last week. The Chicago Inspector General just dropped a report exposing Mayor Brandon Johnson's secret gift stash. It has jewelry, whiskey, handbags, and shoes, all stored in a quote-unquote gift room that's hidden from investigators as well as Johnson's personal office. Okay? So the Chicago Government Ethics Ordinance, the GEO, it prohibits city officials, including the mayor, from accepting gifts over $50. It's basically to keep you from being bribed or you know, we kind of call them lobbyists, but they try to stop that at a certain kind of level, right? You can get influence. So they have a process that they go for. You're supposed to get the gift approved if it's over $50. There's reported to the Board of Ethics. They write it down. Then they control it. They add it to the city's inventory. But that's not what's happening in Chicago, okay? So under an unwritten agreement between the Board of Ethics and the mayor's office that's been in place since 1989, all right? So this is not that long. The mayor can completely disregard that law, all right? Under this agreement, the mayor's office simply has to make publicly available a logbook of the gifts they received, which is kept in City Hall. No approvals needed. Nothing needs to be reported. The board doesn't even disclose any of this on their website. If you want to see the gifts, you got to go up to the mayor's office to ask for permission to see these gifts. So the Office of the Inspector General went undercover last June to test access to this public log of mayor's gifts. All right, so the investigator showed up to City Hall posing as a member of the public, asked to see it. The mayor's office denied the request and directed them to file a FOIA agreement, okay? So Freedom of Information Act. At this point, not only was the mayor's office violating the plain text of the ethic ordinance, but they were also violating the informal, unwritten agreement put in place to subvert that ordinance. So the IG filed a FOIA request and again did not say that they were the Inspector General's office. The mayor's office didn't respond either to that as well. So then the IG filed a formal request to see these gifts. What were these gifts? Well, the log shows there was a mysterious room called the gift room. Others were stored in the mayor's private office. One entry reads, a bottle of Uncle Nearest 1856 premium aged whiskey. Location, room 507, the mayor's office. The IG then tried to show up to see this quote-unquote gift room, but the mayor's office stopped them from even seeing this gift room. They did get a list of things that the mayor supposedly had received in gifts, and let me tell you what these are, all right? This is Hugo Boss cufflinks, personalized Mont Blanc pen, a Gucci tote bag and crossbody bag, Givenchy bag, Kate Spade red purse, and Carucci size 14 burgundy men's shoes. Why would a city of Chicago need a pair of 14 size shoes is beyond me, okay? But now, when he starts being pressed about things such as the gifts, or even now as a sanctuary city, what do you think Mayor Brandon Johnson reverts to? The exact same thing as the previous 2 clips you've heard. See how he finishes this. This is what you call accountability in the blue state.
But here's what I'm getting at. This oversight committee, of all the things that they want to have sight over, they should look at the White House right now. That White House is being ran in one of the most raggedy forms of government that I've ever seen. If anybody is questioning whether or not what our country would look like had the Confederacy won, there should be no question now. They want us to be afraid. Do not be afraid, Chicago. Whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, I'm always going to stand up for the interests of working people. And I will not be intimidated by some weak individual who won't stand up to an individual who believes he's a supreme being right now. You're worried about Chicago? Look in your front yard. We have a president right now who is obfuscating his responsibilities that should be very clear based upon the Constitution. He is rejecting the Constitution of the United States of America. And if they want to have a real discussion about undocumented individuals who are criminals, they should look at the very individuals who enslaved my people and colonized this
Here we
land.
go.
So whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, the people of Chicago would not be intimidated or threatened by any individual who is unwilling to look in their own front yard of where the real threat to our democracy lies. Thank you all very much.
And this was when he was being questioned about showing up for a subpoena for being a sanctuary city, which, if you've been paying attention, the citizens of Chicago want Chicago to stop being a sanctuary city because it's hurting the residents. Anyway, these three knuckleheads deserve each other. We're calling those people Three's Company.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's Company too.
Hey, coming up next is your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everybody's favorite segment, Hold the L with Jerry Lopez. I have the week's best loser, and you're going to love it. Come right back. This is 93.1 in WIBC.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research, they make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
Hi, I'm Dwight Freeney. Recently, I had the honor of meeting some incredible kids who are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant here in Indiana. I saw firsthand the importance of saying yes to organ donation. It's not just about saving lives. It's about giving others the chance to grow up, play, and dream big. Signing up as an organ donor is quick and easy. It takes less than a minute, but the difference you can make lasts a lifetime. Learn more at donatelifeindiana.org.
Big Joe here. You've heard me talk about Absolute Comfort and Mitsubishi Electric ductless mini splits for years. This energy-efficient way to heat and cool your home is a game changer. Smart systems that detect when somebody's in the room and adjust to your room's activity, be it in your living room, garage, or man cave. Visit Absolute Comfort's booth this Friday through Sunday at the Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show at Graham Park. Ask for Jeremy or Chris to learn more. Absolute Comfort, your trusted American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer. Delight their senses with a Valentine's gift from Gillespie Florists. Choose gift ideas by clicking on GillespieFlorist.com. Gifts like boxed chocolates, plush animals, scented candles, balloons, and the best flower arrangements in Central Indiana. Roses, tulips, daisies, carnations, and more. Gillespie Florist will help you express your passion. Walk in and smell Gillespie's roses at 10th and Raceway Road. Call 273-1100 or click on GillespieFlorist.com. Gillespie Florist, for all the flowers in your life.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Indy Humane, committed to helping Central Indiana's pets in need since 1905. Find your new best friend today, indyhumane.org.
Welcome back to the Tony Kinnett Cast. You've heard the song. That means it's time for our loser, or like we like to call it, Hold the L with Jerry Lopez. So some of you are familiar with Awful Tweets, which happens on Thursday. Tony and I talk about the worst tweets of the week. This is a segment I call Hold the L, and I give it for the biggest loser. You know, and for those of you that aren't in the know, Hold the L is basically like you lost. All right, so my L for this week goes to the DNC. They held a little forum or convention to vote on who was going to be their chair and their vice chair. And, well, before we talk about it, let's hear a little bit about how they run their rules real quick.
Specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. What? With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules.
What? So they got to have 2 dudes, two women, and, well, I'm lost. That's just the rules on how they're going to vote. All right, so they have to do a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Maybe if they explain how they're going to do it, it'll help me understand what the heck they're trying to do.
To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week.
Which I didn't understand.
But I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent. The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity.
Okay.
As we must elect a candidate of any gender as well as 1 male and 1 female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot. Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have 1 officer of the 3. So then we will know which position is filled of the 1 male, 1 female, and 1 vice chair.
I don't understand any of this.
Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the 3rd position that is remaining based on the 2 results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
Okay, so gender matters there at the end. So they know what a female is. Okay, well, I'm confused, but you know what? Let's just hear from the candidates, and maybe the best one will stick out. All right, so let's hear one of the candidates. Go ahead.
And we'll begin with the opening statements. Each candidate will have 30 seconds, and we'll start with Dr. Quintessa Hathaway.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. It is my desire to be the next DNC chair, and I just want to give you all a little bit of something that's been on my heart here over the last couple of days. You fight on, you fight on, you fight on, you fight on. When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on, oh, you fight on.
She came there hoping somebody was sitting in the crowd that would give her some kind of like American Idol or something like that. That was pretty bad. Well, there was other candidates, so let's hear from them. You know, I give that first one. I don't know. She can't be serious. Let's hear the rest of them.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Good evening, Democrats. Look up here. 3 strong black women standing before you. 3 black women who, rather than just grabbing a chair, ran for chair.
Te quiero mucho, Papa. Gracias por todo. My name is Artie Blanco, Freddie Blanco's daughter. Vote for me for vice chair.
Look at this room, y'all. Truly take it in. This is the Democratic Party. We are our strongest when we stand together.
We are in a time in this country when our democracy and our rights are under attack. We're at a time where black and brown people, women, and other minorities are being blamed for everything that's wrong with this country.
So let's fight together for a stronger and more inclusive Democratic Party.
Good afternoon, DNC! Let me say something. Over the last several days, we've seen what happens when we have the wrong people in powerful places. And so today, I ask for your support in electing me as your DNC vice chair, because in a time of crisis, leadership matters.
My people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We are sick and tired of being the last one hired and the first one fired. We are sick and tired of the...
And I've spent the last 15 years fighting for the American people, all 340 million of them.
Work to do to organize, show up, and win.
All right,
and that is why I'm
that's
asking
enough of that. That's enough of that. So you got the gist of the people that ran, right? They all sound like the number one thing on their list of accomplishments was being diverse, all right? And the Democratic Party thrives on diversity, all right? It pushes diversity. All right. So how out of all those people, the party that whines endlessly about diversity just elected 2 white, allegedly straight, privileged males, Ken Martin and David Hogg, to be the DNC chair and vice chair? If the DNC cares so much about diversity, why they turn around and pick 2 white guys? Because it's all game. It's all game. They want you to be lock and step, support them, let us help you out of victimhood, but we're never really going to put you in a position to thrive, because if we put you in a position to thrive, guess what? You'll become a Republican overnight. All right, now, if you guys don't remember David Hogg was the guy that was involved in the Parkland incident, the school shooting. It's not an incident, it's a school shooting, a heinous act. But he's basically been on some run. He came up with a MyPillow thing to fight the MyPillow that went bankrupt basically after a year. Well, he had a forum, and he got owned by this Chinese immigrant because David Hogg stonks on gun legislation. Listen to this Chinese immigrant basically give him the business to his face.
Hi, my name is Lily Tang Williams. Welcome to my live free or die state. Actually, I am a Chinese immigrant who survived communism. And under Mao, 40 million people were starving to death after he sold communism to them. And 20 million people died, murdered during his Cultural Revolution. So my question to you, David, is that can you guarantee me, a gun owner tonight, our government in the U.S., in D.C., will never become a tyrannical government? Can you guarantee that to me?
There's no way I can ever guarantee that any government will not be tyrannical.
Well, then the debate on gun control is over, because I will never give up my guns. Never, never. And you should go to China to see how gun control works for dictatorship of CCP.
Congratulations, DNC. You get to hold today's L. All right, next. Is this the dumbest person in Congress? This is Representative Jasmine Crockett suggesting that President Trump is going to withhold tax refunds from people of color.
It is really awful. And I know right now people are asking whether or not their IRS refund checks are going to be affected. We don't know if this is more DEI. Are you going to say if it's somebody that's a person of color, then for some reason, whatever they paid in to the federal government, they're not allowed to get it back? Like, we don't know, but there is no reason for any political appointee, if you can even call him that, to have this kind of access. There's none.
Yeah, maybe the dumbest person right now. Come right back. Hey, we're going to send this baby home. We're going to talk about trade wars, and I got that Trump song to finish up the show. So come right back to 93.1. This is Tony Kinnett Cast on WIBC.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Jewelry Graham. It's your friends at Shane Company, here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. It's the most romantic day of the year to give and get fine jewelry. We have expertly crafted gifts for every type of sweetheart. For the one, we'll help you propose with the dream engagement ring. Come see our wide selection of hand-picked natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. In stock and ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Or maybe you'll fall in love with the natural, colorful gemstone. At Shane Company, we're known for our sapphires in every color of the rainbow. We have options for every style and budget. Get creative and design a custom necklace with meaningful charms, including 14-karat gold letters, engravable hearts, and birthstones. Our mother-of-pearl heart-shaped collection makes a perfect gift that's ready to give. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our unmatched free lifetime warranty, everyday competitive prices, and no-pressure shopping experience. Come see us in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-210-8808. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Help USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-210-8808. 800-210-8808. 800-210-8808.
Show your true love and spoil her with that special Valentine's gift from Pierce Jewelers in Carmel that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like
Welcome
us.
back to the Tony Kinnett Cast on 93.1 WIBC. And guess what? Mexico and Canada found out that they not like us. All right, we were going to put the 25% tariffs on them, and they wanted to play hardball. And Mexico and Canada both came in on the 24th hour. It's supposed to happen tomorrow. Mexico came out sooner with the agreement, about 10 o'clock Eastern this morning, released a statement. I'm going to read both these statements. You let me know if these statements seem like they were templated, okay? So it's almost the exact same statement from two different world leaders. So the first one for the president of Mexico says, "We had a great conversation with President Trump with great respect for our relationship and sovereignty. We reached a series of agreements. Mexico will immediately reinforce the northern border with 10,000 members of the National Guard to prevent drug trafficking from Mexico to the United States, particularly fentanyl. The United States is committed to working to prevent the trafficking of high-powered weapons to Mexico. Our teams will begin working today on two fronts, security and trade. They are pausing tariffs for 1 month from now." So that was from the president of Mexico. From Justin Trudeau up north, starts his out the exact same way. Just had a good phone call with President Trump. "Canada is implementing our $1.3 billion border plan, reinforcing the border with new choppers, technology, and personnel, enhanced coordination with our American partners, and increased resources to stop the flow of fentanyl. Nearly 10,000 frontline personnel are and will be working on protecting the border. In addition, Canada is making new commitments to appoint a fentanyl czar. We will list cartels as terrorists, ensure 24/7 eyes on the border, launch a Canada-U.S. strike force to combat organized crime, fentanyl, and money laundering. I've also signed a new intelligence directive on organized crime and fentanyl, and we will begin backing it with $200 million. He ends his the same way. Proposed tariffs will be paused for at least 30 days while we work together." So it seems to me like they both got the message. And all President Trump wanted out of any of this stuff is a secure border, and we need to stop the flow of fentanyl. Okay? Well, lo and behold, only a couple of hours after the Mexican president put out that statement, Mexico also announced they just arrested El Ricky, a top leader of Cartel de Nuestra, right after Trump pressured them to crack down on the cartels. Now, if you ask me, I think they could have arrested him anytime. They knew exactly where he was. All right, they were getting paid too much from the cartel that it didn't bother them, and then Trump said it'll cost you more than what you're making from them. You might as well go pick them up. All right, so let me break this down for you. We're 2 weeks in. Mexico caved, Panama caved, Colombia caved, Venezuela caved, Canada caved. There's mass deportations. Our hostages are home. DEI programs have ended. Bureaucracy's been slashed. FBI purges are underway. USA fund has been, stopped right now. Gender ideology's been eliminated. Doge has already saved billions. The 51 intel agents from the FBI that lied about the dossier and the laptop are fired. Border crossings have dropped by 93%. Reservoirs are filling up in California, and it's only day 15. Right? It's only day 15. Keep that in mind. So one of the big things that's come from all this stuff is Vivek's no longer part of Doge. And everybody wonders what happened. Well, Vivek sat on a podcast called Flagrant that comes out on Wednesdays. It's a comedy podcast with Andrew Schultz. And they asked him, why are you no longer part of Doge? And Vivek kind of just said it straight up.
And so there were a lot of things that obviously was supposed to be on the outside for a lot of reasons, ended up moving inside, ended up having a technology-first approach. And so when something like this has never been done and you set it up, obviously there's going to be some evolution. Right. And it made a lot of sense given the way things, evolved for me to say, this is the right way for me to achieve my vision and goals for the country and to wish success in taking a technology-driven approach within the federal government. And that's where we landed.
I think that seems like you guys had a, what is it called? Amicable breakup? Is that?
We're super friendly on a personal level.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes a different.
It was a mutual decision.
Very much so.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I say when I get dumped.
That's what I say when I get dumped. All right, so there was a little bit of rumor mill that was going around a couple weeks ago. Tweeted out, I want to say Washington Post might have been initially tagged in it, kind of went away, couldn't figure out if it was real or not. It was supposedly Vivek was going to run for governor of Ohio. We dropped some hints, and it sounds to me like you can expect him to be announcing his candidacy any day, really.
But the flip side is also at a certain point, I think this is what's going to be good for me as well, is if I'm really looking at a unique constitutional vision for the future of the country, grounded in my view of what our lawmaking process ought to be. How do you restore self-governance in America? How do you actually rid ourselves of that managerial bureaucracy that exists at the federal but also at the state level? I think I need to stand on my own feet and be elected to office to do it. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing.
That is interesting. But let me ask you, if you got to run Doge your way, or be governor of a state in the Midwest, what would you do?
Well, I will tell you, it's been my plan for even before Doge came into existence and after I left the campaign to pursue the path of likely running for governor of Ohio. Right. So this is something that I, began to really.
Wait, you're going to run for governor? Wait, is that going to happen for real?
Imminently, we'll have an announcement to make.
Imminently, there'll be an announcement to make. So imagine Vivek being a governor of Ohio. That would be great for us cities here in the Midwest. So found a good song. It's that time. I try to leave you guys with a banger. This is a new song about the latest hit, Dance. I know you've seen athletes do it, and I encourage you to do it every chance you get. You can roll your windows down on this great evening here in the Midwest and bump this new song. It's called Do the Trump.
Yeah. Trump the Don. There's a new dance move going on. Check it out. Everybody move your arms like this. There's a dance other people do and I think it's a hit. Don't be shy, go and get up on the dance floor. Have the time of your life, I'm the man, do the trap. Do the trap. In the school, in the pool, or in the club. We don't got no time for haters, they just their way. We're about to turn the country to a red state. Do the trap. 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 Kamala thought she had me, that's a funny fact. We could celebrate now and just laugh at that. America the beautiful, home of the brave. Ask them why they hate me, they got nothing to say. They say I'm not a politician.
That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, my name is Jerry Lopez. You can find me on Twitter X at Indy Spanglish. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Tony will be in the chair and ready to give it to you. This has been the Tony Kinnett Cast on 93.1 WIBC.
Do the trap. In the school, in the pool, or in the club. We don't got no time for haters, they just can't wait. We're about to turn the country to a red state. Do the trap.
Has the holiday season left you overwhelmed, stressed out, and overweight? Do you feel frustrated when you think about what you need to do to be healthy and feel better? You deserve a simple approach to a stronger, healthier, and more enjoyable life. Exercise Inc. has been helping people in Central Indiana reach their health and fitness goals